Today's episode of Voiced is from r/petty revenge and is about a neighborly dispute over trash and a language barrier misunderstanding that escalated into a battle of wits. What happens when kindness meets revenge? Subscribe if you enjoy.
My neighbor told me I couldn't put out my trash, so I put his on a vacation hold. So I rent a house with my husband and two of our friends. It's a 5-bedroom house. Rent is outrageous in our area, $2,400 for a 1-bedroom apartment. So we found this house for $3,000. Not a bad deal while we save up to buy a house. There are other houses in the neighborhood like this as well. Our next door neighbor's house is a 5-bedroom house, and they have 9 people living in their house. So it is chaos over there all the time. In our neighborhood, we can choose the trash company. It just so happens that we have the same trash company as the next door neighbors. Our trash company does like us to have the trash out by 7 a.m. We don't always get it out that early though, and that's where this problem started. Most of the time, they don't pick up our trash until 11 a.m. So obviously, as long as the trash is out before trash pickup gets here, they can take our trash. The people next door have 3 trash cans, and they are overflowing every single week. They put their trash out the night before, but unfortunately, our neighborhood has raccoons and foxes, so the trash is always getting into. The last time a raccoon got into their trash, it left a mess in our yard, and they wouldn't pick it up. I was pretty upset about it, but I just let it go, cleaned up their trash. I did go and put it back in their trash can, and they just sat out front glaring at me while I did that. Here's where this incident started. A couple of weeks ago, I didn't get our trash out until almost 9 a.m. All 4 of us were sick with COVID-19. I was on the mend and feeling a little bit better, but I slept in and forgot to put out the trash at 7 a.m. So I go to put the trash out, and my neighbor starts yelling at me, saying, "You were supposed to have your trash out by 7 a.m. You can't put your trash out now." I said, "Well, they haven't come and picked up the trash because your trash cans are full, so it's not a big deal." He said, "No, that's the rules. Your trash has to be out by 7 a.m. If it's not, you can't get your trash picked up this week." I said I understand that they want the trash out by 7 a.m., but they haven't come and picked it up yet, so it doesn't matter. So I went ahead and just walked inside. I went back to bed, and a couple of hours later, I got up to see that our trash cans were put to the side of the house, and they were still full of trash. So that means someone moved our trash can. Our other neighbor came up to me the next day and said that she saw him put our trash can back. She didn't know the situation, so she wasn't going to butt in and tell him not to do that. Our neighbors are also very proud of their last name. They literally have a flag in their front window with their last name. So I called the trash company and said that I was Mrs. So-and-so and needed to set up a vacation hold for our upcoming pickup. They said, "No problem, we won't pick up your trash next week." They literally only asked for the address, no other information. The next week, I made sure that our trash was out at 6:45 a.m. Then I sat and watched for the trash truck and watched them come past the house. They drove past my neighbor's house, didn't pick up their trash, even though their trash was overflowing, picked up ours and the other few people who also had theirs and left. I know I'm an asshole for doing this. You don't need to tell me. I may have crossed the line. But he also crossed the line by touching our cans and moving them and setting foot on our property. Our lease is up at the end of this month, so we won't be dealing with these crazy people for much longer.
Wow, that neighbor certainly knew how to ruffle some feathers. It's amazing how a simple misunderstanding can escalate into something much bigger. But let's shift gears now and head to a completely different scenario. Imagine this. You're in a foreign country, surrounded by locals who speak a language you've mastered. You think you know what to expect, but then something unexpected happens. Let's dive right in.
Badmouth me and assume I don't speak the language? I'll kill you with kindness. I am a light-skinned Latina American, and I lived in Korea for a couple of years during university and graduate school, as my major was Korean interpretation and translation. During my time in Korea, I was lucky enough to attend music shows from time to time. For the K-pop uninitiated, music shows are free to enter, provided you have at least one of 3 items. A copy of the album of the group you're coming to see. B, proof of purchase of the album digitally on one of the approved music vendors in Korea. Or C, the official lightstick from the most recent concert. Priority entry was always given to official fan club members who had all 3 items, then fan club members who had 2 of the 3, and then fan club members who had 1. After that came non-members in the same priority tier. The group I had come to see hadn't opened official fan club registration in almost a decade, so the group's management decided to do away with the fan club priority and did it on a first-come, first-served basis, but kept the whole 3 items, go first, then 2, then 1 thing. I had all three and I got there early, so I got a good spot in line. These queues often had us waiting outside for hours while the previous round of filming finished up. The thing about these music show venues is that they're very small. They have limited capacity and allow 2 to 3 groups fans in to watch them film at a time, so not all people who queue for a group get in. In this particular instance, there was trouble with foreign fans causing trouble by taking pictures, not listening to instructions, so venue staff literally went through and quizzed each foreigner in line on their Korean. If you couldn't understand, you were booted. I passed with flying colors and kept my spot in line. Here's where the revenge starts. Because of the aforementioned issues, a lot of Korean fans hated international fans with a passion. For this group in particular, so many people were angry that they had to wait in line behind foreigners because they'd done away with the official fan club priority. Now here's me, sitting alone in a queue outside on a hot summer day. A group of Korean girls sat in front of me, and a lone Korean girl talking on her phone sat behind me. I was minding my own business playing games on my phone after passing my Korean quiz with the staff when I heard the girl behind me talking trash. She was chatting with a friend, I suspect, because she was dropping a lot of curse words, and specifically mentioned, "These foreign roaches ruining things for us. I want to kill them." She mentioned me in particular and said that she bet I'd bribed the staff to keep my spot in line even though I couldn't understand Korean. Okay, so it's harmless talk. I don't know this girl and I don't know her friend. In the long run, it doesn't affect me, right? But it really rubbed me the wrong way, especially because she was talking quite loudly. So I grabbed my wallet, politely and quietly asked the Korean girls in front of me to watch my bag and hold my place in line, and went to the convenience store. I bought a round of water for everyone. It was heavy. I had about a dozen bottles of water. I get back to my spot in line, thanked the girls in front of me for holding my spot, then gave each of them a water. I also gave a water to the group in front of them. Then I kept one for myself and turned around and handed one to the girl on the phone with a smile. Immediately, she lit up and thanked me in English, smiling brightly and taking her phone away from her ear. As I handed her her water, I said in perfect Korean, and still smiling, "The next time you loudly talk badly about the foreigners, make sure they can't actually understand you." When I tell you it went silent in the immediate area, you could hear a pin drop. Her smile melted off her face faster than an ice cream cone on Florida pavement. She turned beet red and muttered to her friend on the phone that she had to go and sheepishly apologized. I accepted. She had water, and I felt better about myself. The girls in front of me heard the whole thing and adopted me into their group for the day. Fun was had all around. Kill them with kindness every day, y'all.
Before I talk about today's posts, please consider subscribing to stay updated on more engaging content like this. Wow, what a week of drama. First off, that neighbor situation was insane. I mean, who moves someone else's trash cans? And then putting them on vacation, hold brilliant. It's crazy how petty fights can escalate so quickly. But hey, if they're messing with your property, you gotta do what you gotta do. And that story about the Korean music show? Talk about a masterclass in revenge. Killing them with kindness is always the best way to go. I love how she handled that situation. It's like a modern-day fairy tale where the underdog wins. It just goes to show, sometimes the best comeback is a smile and a kind gesture. So, which story did you find more relatable or entertaining? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more reactions and engaging content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Voiced. If you enjoyed daily high-quality stories, please like and subscribe to show your support.